They're really fun to make, and if you don't mind, you have all these things at home in your kitchen, I'm sure. So my recipe is from my mom. It's what she always did. There's many recipes out there. Don't be afraid to try any of them at all. If you like butter in here, not like I'm putting Crisco in here, you can use butter, you can use lard, but I'm just doing it the way I knew. There's a lot of different recipes. You can put an egg yolk in here. Have you heard of that one? And it's really good. I think it's tender vinegar or something that goes in one. I'm just making you a simple one because so I put a cup and a half of flour in this bowl. Okay, first thing. Now I'm going to put some salt in there. Just about what I think, is about a fourth of a, teaspoon in there. Because you have to get something because you're having that Crisco. So you don't want to taste like that. So thank you guys. Boy, you guys are keeping up on me. I'm so glad I have help. So I bought these little Crisco things because I thought this was so easy to do. These are so much easier than measuring out my Crisco. So, but at home I would have my bucket, my tub of lard, tub of fat. But okay, so I need a half a cup, and this is what it is, just fat.
Oh, I think you said smash.
Oh no. What is that? A cup of fat. Okay, so right in here, right now, I've just got my salt and my flour. Okay, just kind of stirring it around a little bit, getting that together. And when I first tried to make a pie crust, I was 13, and my mom wasn't home, and so it actually came out, and my mom was so impressed that I could do it. And I have a sister who is older, has never made a pie crust. She doesn't like to make it. She doesn't want to make a pie crust. So she called my mom. She'd always call my mom. Come over, I need to make a pie crust. And so anyway, but I didn't mind it. I guess I just never. It did. I had confidence for some reason that I could do it. So that's what you need, confidence. Just do it. And I put that shortening in there, and it's just room temperature. It's not cold. Some places say get it cold. That's fine. You can get it cold. Butter. Do you use butter, Janet?
I don't particularly, but they say use cold butter.
Very cold.
Everything.
Yes, and even your shortening can be cold too. If you. I mean, sometimes they do say cold everything. Cold water is real important.
Cold water, yeah. Ice water.
Ice water, and we don't have any ice. Our ice maker went on the blink today, so well, we're having water. So you'll see how forgiving this is because we've done it now. So I'm going to make for you today a Dutch apple pie, and that's the Dutch apple is just I'm making a single crust, but the Dutch is what they call the topping. It's when you make a crumble topping on your. So I made a couple pies that have the two crusts, but this one I wanted to do a different one. Just to show you there is different things we make with it. Okay, so I blended that in till it was really all see, crumbly, just crumbly. It just looks like, what does it look like? Cornmeal maybe? Or something, and there's some bigger chunks in there, but there's no big blobs of fat. Nothing big that I would say, oh, that's gonna be too much, it would take over your integrity of your crust. Okay, so now that is all easy. Don't worry about anything you did here. You did all this, you can do whatever you want with this, right? But now this is the tricky part. This is the part that you go, don't mess this up. Because it's like, don't put too much water in your crust and don't overwork your crust once you put the water in. You're not making bread dough, you're making pie crust. So, and you're making cookies. You want to have this so it says 3 to 5 tablespoons of water. So just drizzle it in. I'm just going to start with about that. I'm just going to take my fork, kind of see where it's coming. Kind of make sure you get the stuff from the bottom, kind of make sure it's, see, a little bit more dry in there. So I'll just put a little bit more in, but not much. I'm not going to take much in this one. And you never know. It depends on your day with this, with what this is. Because, it really doesn't it? Like, things that just depend on the day. If it's a humid day or a dry day or a temperature.
It really does.
It does. So mine, that came together pretty quick. That one, that was actually, I don't know why. Okay, this is going to be a pie.
You're lucky.
I'm just thankful. This is the third one, so we're having a good day, guys. Okay, what do you call a street that's just full of pies? A street that's just full of pies. All full of pies.
Ooh, pick me, I know.
What, Brooklyn?
Deserted.
A deserted street. Okay, then I took my thing and I made a ball, right? Kind of made it like you'd want your crust shape. And I just sprinkled some flour on top. And I'm going to flip it over and put some flour on this side because I don't want it to stick to my board. you don't want to get too much flour on here, but you want it not to stick. And it won't take, you know, it won't take too much flour, I don't think. But see, then you just start kind of, and just make sure it always moves, or else you're not going to get it off your board. So just kind of move it, it'll move. Otherwise, you'll have this, take your pancake turner and just scrape it off. Does anybody ever do it on parchment paper? Do you ever roll it out on, do you do that? Does it work?
Well, and I used to hate to make them, but I've started making them again. But I put parchment, I put the pie crust in between two pieces of
Okay,
parchment.
how's that work?
Beautifully.
Really? So do you just, how much, I mean, do you, okay, it doesn't stick to the parchment. Do you
But
do that
it's easy, it's easy to get up. I mean,
Yeah.
parchment is something that it
Sure.
doesn't, yeah. And I prefer doing it that way.
Yeah.
And it comes out
Don't
beautifully.
stick in here.
And I use butter instead of shortening.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, that's probably better for you, maybe, you
I
know.
just think it's crispier. And
Do you?
my mother always made good pie crust, so it's hard for me to try to.
Yeah. My mom is a good pie maker too. She used to make things called flat pies, you know, they're the big, like she made them in cookie sheets. So it would be a whole big pie crust, and then it would be not so much filling, because you know, they were thin like the cookie sheet. And then a whole big pie on top. Oh, we called them bars, we called them apple squares, you know, or whatever, squares, you know, because then she'd
It's
put
like
a
a
little
sheet
bit
cake.
a little
Yeah.
powdered sugar frosting on top. I mean, like you need that, but so good. She used to make blackberry ones and oh.
Okay, so a lady asked a question, but I don't think
Yeah.
she got it answered last
What?
week. You said that you don't have to do it on a cutting board or a dough board at all. You can do it right on your countertop.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can do it on your countertop, or you could do it on a breadboard if you have a board, or anything. I wish I did have a spatula here.
Do
'cause
you
I-
just make? Do you ever press it into your pie pan? Because that's the kind that my mom always made. was the
Oh,
kind
yeah.
that you-
I
that
haven't-
you do the
With
flour,
oil.
that you do all the stuff that you've done, but you just press it into.
Right. Well, mine's not going to be as good as I thought here. Oh yeah, you know, I've never done that, but I know that I've seen that done on TV. Okay, so now I've got mine rolled up here. Hey guys, go with confidence. Cut your pie in there. So I laid it in there. Now I'm going to unroll it. And if you had the parchment, this would be really where it's nice, you know. Okay, I'm going to show you what this is looking like, and
Like
it
this.
doesn't look very good. I'm sorry.
Do you one this way?
See, because it never looks good when you're in front of people, but. Huh? Oh, yeah, but I think I got it now.
Okay.
Well, good.
Save it in
It's
case
good
you
as it's gonna go, okay. So. Okay, so now, see, I've got some holes here and everything, but I'm gonna just, this is gonna make it work,
It'll
right?
work.
Yeah.
It'll work.
It's gonna be, you know,
It's forgiving.
yeah, it's forgiving. It just goes, it's like, who said Play-Doh? Did someone say that in this class? Did they say Play-Doh? It kind of tastes, feels like Play-Doh, somebody said. And I thought, well, that's right, it is kind of like Play-Doh. So you kind of, but you don't want to just mash it. You don't want to keep on mashing it. You just want to, you know, you want to just kind of fix it. Here. And I just, because this is going to be, okay, whoops. Gotta put electric crust here. Well, I decided this is going to be that Dutch apple. Because it's Dutch apple, I have to trim it. You know, I have to make my fancy plate here. And I have been making ones that were double, and then I use the bottom. Okay, well, you know what I'm saying? No. Sorry. Okay, so I'm just taking these pieces, and you're going to be amazed how wonderful this looks.